everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I just thought I'd do a quick update on some of the rescue project orchids that we've been looking at over the last few weeks, including the bundle of discounted orchids that I got and also my Cattleya Violacea that you saw me unpot from the cocoa husk block that it was in and repot, and I raised a few concerns then that I damaged a lot of the existing roots and they may die off and I didn't know when new roots would form, so I just thought I'd show you an update for that one as well. So if we start off with my bundle of discounted orchids, I'll link you down below to my original unboxing and repotting videos for those and my discussions on each of them. And we've unfortunately had a loss. So the BLC Hawaiian Lightning Fiesta unfortunately just kind of withered away and died. It didn't rot, it just literally yellowed and shriveled up. And that happens when the orchid has literally exhausted all of its available nutrients and it's burnt through all of its nutrient reserves. It's moved a lot of the nitrogen out of the leaves and the pseudobulbs in order to just try and push out a new growth, and it's failed and just died. And unfortunately that was kind of expected. We did kind of expect a few losses for these discounted orchids, which were originally I think divisions that the seller had made to obviously grow on and sell on that had been unsuccessful or not as successful as they would have liked. So goodbye little orchid, rest in peace. A few of them have had pseudobulbs that have shriveled up and started to rot that I've removed, so we've got a few with reduced pseudobulbs, but the ones that I wanted to show you, because those ones are still works in progress, are ones that have started to make a recovery. So if we start off with the Encyclia vitellina, which is this one, you can see we've got some nice new roots there coming out of that newest growth. Got a few more little root nubs, and it is a little bit moist in there because I've been spraying the top of the lacquer beads down daily to really try and avoid any of these new roots hitting a dry layer and stopping growing. And you can actually see that we've got some going down into the lacquer in there, and obviously some at the side here which we can track the progress of, but they're doing really well. And it's obviously been putting its energy into producing those roots, but as soon as it's got some roots down into the media we can expect the new growth to speed up and get going, and then by that point we're kind of out of the woods with this one, so that's really exciting. The next one is the Cattleya Classic Autumn Melody. Now I'm gonna lift this one out to show you because it's just got one root nub starting, so I can do that without endangering the plant too much. So it very rapidly actually put out this little new growth here, and that new growth is starting a root already, and it does actually seem to have another eye swelling up just by it there. I don't know if you can see, just here there's a little nub swelling. Obviously that's the new growth with the root coming out, so that's quite exciting for such a tiny little plant. It's recovering very quickly, so hopefully we can get that root down into the lacquer pellets with no issue. Just carefully place that back there. So I put it kind of above, it's not touching the lacquer pellets at the moment, it'll grow down into them, and I'm going to keep misting the top of the lacquer pellets daily to keep that humidity nice and high so we don't get that dry layer that can desiccate roots sometimes. Then the third of the rescue Cattleyas that's starting to make a recovery is the LC Jungle Eyes. Now we did have one leaf yellow and fall off on this. Obviously it's trying to mobilise its nutrients to put into the new growth, and it doesn't have any roots to pick up nutrients with, so it kind of pulls the nutrients out of any storage reserves that it may have, which are the leaves and the pseudobulbs. But you can see that that new growth has a nice little root nub coming out, which is actually probably almost the size of the new growth. And you can actually see a few more starting. Can you see the little nub just higher up above that root poking out? So yeah, that one is doing well. Obviously the more pseudobulbs they have to start with, the better chance they have, because they have more nutrients and water stored that they can push into their new growths to push out new roots. Then the next one is the Cattleya dowiana itself, which wasn't actually supposed to be a rescue orchid, but it didn't really have many viable roots, and the ones it did have were a little bit dodgy. So I'll show you the plant. It's quite a big plant. Its newest pseudobulb hasn't shriveled at all. However, the other pseudobulbs were quite shriveled when I got it. I don't think that's increased. What we do have now though is new roots starting on this newest growth. So I did say that I thought it might be capable of pushing out a few more new roots from this newest growth that it had made. Now the roots that it had pushed out so far on the new growth had actually dried up when they touched the media it was in, which wasn't really suitable. But you can now see we've got some new root nubs just coming out there. And we've also got one just at the bottom here. And this eye, it seems to be swelling up a little bit. I don't know what you guys think, but I looked at the footage from the previous video and it definitely looks more swollen and there's a little bit of a separation between the eye and the pseudobulb itself. So I'm hoping that that one will start to push out soon, a new growth soon. You never know, it might take a good while because it's obviously pushing out new roots at the moment, so it needs to get those new roots out and down into the pot and absorbing some nice nutrients and water before it can think about pushing out a new growth again. But yeah, that was quite exciting. And then the last one that I just wanted to quickly update you on, it wasn't in the Rescue Orchid project, but it didn't have very many good roots when I got it and I was a bit worried about it, is the Cattleya Violacea. And this is the semi-alba variety. And you can see from this new growth, which matured so quickly, I suppose because it was quite a large plant and it had so many pseudobulbs available to take nutrients from, it's pushed out so many new growths so quickly. You can see this one here, this one, got one at the back there, and there's one that's being a little bit slower from this pseudobulb here. And then we've also got another one starting just here. And you can see that the first pseudobulb that it started to push out was this one. See, this is the biggest. And we've got new roots going down into the media there. And I've been misting this one daily and to try and keep the roots from drying out at all. And if I just move that big lacquer bead there, I don't think it's attached to the root. See those roots there? So we've got 3 coming off this biggest pseudobulb. Hopefully more will emerge. I think I can see a little nub starting as well. And then we've also got one starting from this smaller growth here. So from this new growth, we've got one root just starting there. So that's really good news. And I'm very excited. Hopefully soon it'll push those roots down into the media and hopefully plump up a little bit because it is looking quite shriveled. It's definitely depleting its nutrients to try and push out all of those new growths at once. But it's really good. I've got lots of new growths on this one. So yeah, this one's gonna be absolutely fine. Now, as I said, most of the Rescue discounted orchids bundle aren't really doing much. I just showed you 3 that had a positive change and obviously we've got 1 death that I had to report. But I wanted to show you the Vanda foetida because this might possibly be the last time you see it if it doesn't perk up soon. So I was quite happy when I first looked at it because it had some new roots starting, which it's continued. So you've got one there pushing out. And there's one actually just down behind that sheath there. And then we have another little bulge just there. Then another one coming out behind this dried up root tip there. However, you can see it's really costing this orchid to push those roots out because look at the leaves. They're just yellowing from the tip downwards as the plant kind of pulls the nitrogen and nutrients out of the leaf. So we're currently on a bit of a race against time between if it can push those roots out in time versus when it loses all of its leaves. Because I mean this one's gone really, hasn't it? We're losing this one and it tends to not recover once it's started to do this sort of thing on the leaf. You probably will lose that leaf. But if those new roots can push out before that happens, we've still got 1 new leaf in the centre and we might well be okay. But I just wanted to update you on that one because that one is doing something. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, but we're kind of running out of time, I think, with the amount of energy this one has stored. So pray for it, keep your fingers crossed for it, and we will see next time, probably in a few weeks' time, whether it's managed to do anything more. So those are my rescue orchid updates for now, and I'm very surprised at how quickly some of these ones have started to recover, so hopefully this progress continues, and I will keep you updated on what's happening and if there are any more developments in any time soon. Probably the rapid growth that we're seeing is because it is the middle of summer here, so that kind of accelerates everything, new growth, or it'll push the plant more towards exhaustion if there aren't enough energy reserves within the plant, and obviously it's losing more water because of the heat, so it's kind of a pressure cooker situation where we've got a bit of a race against time for these plants to get some roots down and get some nutrients and water before they lose all of their existing ones. So yeah, this is quite an interesting process to document, I think, and it's unfortunate that we've had a loss already, and potentially the Vanda foetida might be another one soon, but yeah, I will keep you updated on the progress and link you down below to the unboxing and the repotting videos where I discuss them in more detail. And if you wanted to see more regular updates like these, then give this video a like or subscribe to my channel for more regular orchid updates. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys later. Bye!